buckle up. It's time to take the trip, buckle up.
You're listening to the Take the Trip podcast, where you'll find real talk and zero filter. I'm your host, Kendra Fogarty, and today I'm here with the absolutely iconic Gabby from Adventures with Gabby, the queen of unfiltered travel chaos and shenanigans. Gabby, thank you so much for being on. Honestly, I have to say, I feel like the podcast just wouldn't have been the same without you as a guest, so I just really appreciate you coming on to chat today.
You're welcome, and thanks for having me, even though I had to reschedule a couple of times.
No worries. I'm so glad
I'm a
that
hot mess. Okay.
I love it, and it's relatable, and I'm just glad that we're finally connecting. It's great. So for many listeners, you will need no introduction. However, for anyone out there who may not be hip to the RV scene, how would you describe your page in 3 words?
Wow. Okay. Weekend, family, and reconnecting.
Oh, I like those. Those are actually very thoughtful words. I love that because it's like, I think of you honestly, it's like margarita. I know I can always get some good margarita content from your page, and just hilarious. So I love that.
It's funny because I should have said margarita, because I think it's even some of my logos I had margarita, because when I started I'm like, I love margaritas, but then after a while I was like, wow, I think everyone thinks I have a margarita every day, or like, all the time when I go camping, and I'm like, man, and my husband's like, well, that's the personality you brought out. I'm like, that's true. I mean,
Yeah.
I do have margaritas all the time. Just
Well, yeah. And margaritas are my drink of choice too. So it is like, like that flag where it like draws your people in, because then someone's like, oh, margarita. I feel that. Yes, I love a good margarita
well,
too.
it's a good question. Are you a frozen margarita or on the rocks margarita?
On the rocks, 100%. What about you?
100%, yes.
Yep. Never frozen, ever.
Everyone's like, oh, you need to get the margarita slushy machine. And I'm like, ugh, I don't
No.
like slush. Yeah, no.
No, and
No,
I'm
thanks.
also not into any syrup flavors ever in my margarita. Sometimes we can do some fruit if it's actually like fruit juice, but we cannot go syrup in the margarita. It's got to be like lime. Once in a while, we can do like a watermelon. There's an art to it.
There is,
I hope
yeah.
someday we can cheers a margarita together.
Yeah.
All right. So one thing I do love about your page, aside from being obviously hilarious, is that you also throw in those super deep, just like real talk truth bombs that just go straight to the heartstrings. So I am curious, how did your page start first? Was it the unhinged energy, or was it more serious content?
This is my second account. I used to have social in 2017, but it was for a weight loss journey that I had. And then I just quit it. Like, it was growing and it was doing really well. And I don't know, it was just coming into my life too much, especially in the weight loss world and with women. It was just like, I felt like I had to keep competing to lose this pound and these inches. And I just shut it off. And everyone at one point was like, where does she go? And I can do that easily. So I'm surprised I haven't done it with this page. So I did keto, like a page for a year. And then I was like, I want to do something again. And my husband was like, let's buy an RV or a camper. And I'm like, you know what? I'm also going to start a page. Why not? So I could start sharing campgrounds, because it was our first time ever camping. And I'm like, well, let me do a page where I can share campgrounds and, campground reviews. And it wasn't me. I cringed going back to the original videos I started. And I'm like, why was I so peppy? Because that's what you see, like, hey, you guys, we're here at the campground. And it's like, that is not who I am. It was RV campground related. And then after a while, I realized I can't speak on that all the time. I'm like, I want a page where I can be myself, plus, the camping. And then it went from 100% RV travel to 75, and then to 60. And then now I'm like, I need to go back, because that's my first love. And I try, but it's hard sometimes, because the people that now follow me they don't care about camping. They care about, my personality, which is great. But for out there purposes of gaining more campers, it changes.
Yeah. Okay. That's so interesting. And I'm also just really curious, because I feel like I had I don't know, a similar struggle where I'm like, well, I can't really post about travel or RV all the time, or maybe I could, but I don't necessarily want to. There's just other things on my heart or on my mind that I feel like I just want to put in the universe, or just other things that are just random and fun that like I'm like, oh, this thought popped in and I just want to share it. But I feel like the algorithm like freaks out And it's like, why are you talking about that? Like, what do you think talking about that? Like, we're not showing this to any.
Like, we put you in this box. Stop
Yes.
getting out of it. Get back
Yes.
in your box.
Exactly. Go back to your corner. What are you
Yeah.
doing? So did you have that same like struggle where it was like kind of trying to push down any content that you had that wasn't your original vibe, I guess?
Well, nobody puts Gabby in a corner.
Mic
Darn it.
drop. Yes.
What's funny, what made my account grow wasn't even camping or RV travel. It was my humor
Mm-hmm.
and husband comedy, like wife and husband comedy, because I would make reels with pretending I was my husband. And sometimes they were inappropriate, but they're hilarious because my husband is very inappropriate. I'm like, my husband can't be the only one. And I think that's what catapulted my account. And now the struggle has been, it just varies. Sometimes it's humor, sometimes one of my camping ones, and sometimes one of my weight loss. So because I'm all over the place, I think my account just goes like this all the
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that is relevant is always humor. Like, I know it doesn't matter what I do, humor, makes people stay. So,
Yeah.
but if
No,
I'm
I
not
love that.
funny, it's kind of like, okay. But
Yeah.
then, like you said, I like to also have serious conversations. So I'm like either hilarious or dark. So
Yeah.
it's like there's no in between.
No, that makes sense. And I think what you said about it being like you, that is what people came for and it's what people are staying for. Even if it's a different topic, they're still like, it's still Gabby. So I'm still here for
Yes.
it. So I just love that.
So
That's great
I
advice.
was like,
Thank you for
okay, well,
sharing that.
maybe I'm the person, I'm the niche, is what people say, right? You
There
are.
you go.
So
Yeah. Heck yeah. I love that. Now, I do wonder too, I want to circle back to when your husband was like, oh, we're going to get this RV. And you said that was the first time you're camping or anything. So, like, what was going through your mind at that time? Were you like, why? Like, what the heck? Or were you on board with that?
I pretty go along with anything my husband says. He's in law enforcement. And for the first probably 12 years, he never took vacations because he felt like, like he just had to do his job. He always felt bad for leaving. After a while, I think the reason we bought it was because he wanted to take more family trips.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was like, heck yeah, I'm down for it. I was like, I wanted to do tent camping, but he's like, I was in the infantry for 8 years in the Marine Corps. I'm not gonna do a tent. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So we bought a camper in 2019, like a little travel trailer, 27 foot. And after the first trip, we realized because we have 3 kids that I'm like, ugh, I want something bigger. Because it's, when you go to the campground, you see all of them, you're like, wow, we should have done more research. I know he did research, but I wish I would have gone to an RV show because it was like, it was cute, but I'm like, we need something bigger for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then we traded it in like 3 months later.
Okay, that quick. Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
awesome. And then, so that was quite a few years ago. And how did your kids, what were their ages at that time?
Oh, you're gonna make me do math. I'm
Like, were they like tweens or because are they teens now or are they
Yeah, they're
tweens?
teens. They were at what, 12, 10, and 7?
Okay, so that is
Sounds
kind of
about
a
right.
tricky age because what well, like, kind of why I wondered is like 12, that's at that like kind of like the cliff where all of a sudden they might be like, I'm not going anywhere with you. I'm just hanging out with my friends. Like, I don't want to. So, how did it go? Like, were the kids excited? Were they into it? Do they still like to travel?
So in the beginning, they loved it. Like we went to Luray and Virginia, Jellystone for our first one, and it was great. We had a blast. And then 2020 hit, and I was like, well, let's go. We camped all over the place that would let us. Here is 2026, 2025. Now that we have a 16, 17, 15 coming up, they're kind of like, there's nothing to do. Or
Mm,
they wanna drive the golf cart, and we're like, "It says here you have to be 18 with a license." And they're like, "No one's gonna know." I'm like, "We know, and you're breaking the rules, dude." Because you see everyone else's kids driving,
mm-hmm.
six-year-olds driving a golf cart. So I'm like, "Just because they're doing it doesn't mean we're gonna let you." So, but as long as he can drive the golf cart for the campgrounds that allow 16 with driver's license, he's happy as can be.
You probably squeezed in a lot of extra family memories that you wouldn't have had at that age range had you not gone on the camping thing, because I think it is just like a great way to get the kids on board. But I know it probably gets tricky as they age. So I'm glad you have a golf cart because that I'm sure that's a, that's a
And,
big
they're
seller.
also very introverted. They're like my husband, our daughter is. She will bring a friend if you let her. and she'll hang out. But the boys are like, yeah, we don't want to bring anybody, or they don't want to go hang out. They're just in their own little world. So
Yeah.
I told my husband, I'm like, we need to start doing more of just me and you because
Mhm.
apparently it's not cool at the moment anymore. You know, I mean, they'll go because they're like fishing and they'll go to the beach if we're by the beach,
Yeah.
but they'll still stay inside the camper sometimes,
Yeah.
most of the time.
That's a fun season too, though, when you can start taking the trips, just the 2 of
Yeah.
you, and they're old enough to hang out back at the house. That's awesome.
They do love campfires, and then every night we watch a movie. After the fire is done, we'll go inside, and, like, our daughter was like, "Oh, we get to see, Zootopia 2 when we go camping next month and for our family movie night." So they are remembering things, and I'm like, "Oh." I'm like,
Oh,
"Yay."
that is so heartwarming. I love
Yeah.
that. So, back to the content for a second. Are there any videos in your drafts folder right now that the world is maybe just not ready for? Like, do you have anything where you're like, "Ooh, this was too much. I gotta wait until the moment's right." Is there like a category of chaos that you've ever been like, "Oh, I gotta cut it off here. I can't send this one through."
No, and I think that's a problem. Because what I know people are strategic because I don't consider myself like a influencer, definitely not. Because I don't think I influence anybody to do anything. I just like to create videos and make people laugh. When I make a video, I want to post it right away. I don't know how people can schedule things. They're like, oh, you should do it, on Tuesdays at 2 o'clock or Wednesdays at 4. I'm like, no, I make the video. Just know that I just probably made it 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I do have things in the draft, and it's not because I don't wanna share. It's just because when I have lots of videos, I just don't know what the overlay's gonna be.
Mhm.
Well, like, 'cause sometimes it hits me, like, one day, I'm like, "Oh, this would be hilarious." So I scroll and see what kind of videos I have. But I wanna move more to, like, my real voice and not so many voiceovers because I think
Mhm.
people like that more, but sometimes voiceovers are hilarious.
Yeah, I agree. They're just, like, so amusing to me. So then it's like I have to go through them because it's just
They're just
entertaining me.
Yeah, they're just harder because I'm very particular about lip sync, and it's like if it doesn't, my lips don't match, it drives me insane. So we'll keep
Yes,
doing it until it does. Okay.
and I blame Instagram for that sometimes too because I'll be like, "That was lined up when I was viewing it," and then after I posted it, I don't know what has occurred, but all of a sudden my lips are doing a totally different thing, and that's
So do you delete it or do you just
I
leave it
just
in?
keep it. I don't know. I mean, my page is so small, and I'm just like, "Whatever. It's not worth the energy," you know?
Right, right.
So that was great advice though, because now you're proof. Like you have such a successful page and you're saying like you don't think about what time of day it is, like what day of the week, like you're not worried about any of that. So I think if we're still focused on that, it's probably, overthinking it a little bit because it may not matter as much as they suggest that it does.
I don't know. Some strategic planners would say, Gabby, you could probably maximize earnings and or people if you had a plan. I'm like, I don't have plans.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not my personality. But that's just
Yeah.
me.
And also, though, it's good to be mindful of that because you had a page that you weren't vibing with anymore. So you want to make sure that when you're doing this, you're doing it where it feels true to you. It's not feeling like a job or like one more thing. Like it has to be fun and it has to feel genuine.
Even at this age, sometimes I'm like, man, look at this person, their video just did so well. And it's like, man, my stuff isn't hidden as much as it used to back in 2022.
Mm.
And I'm proud of those people because they're mostly my friends. And he's like, well, you're doing it for fun. And they're probably doing it for their job. So, they're really looking into all the data and stuff. And I'm like, you're right. He says, so don't stress. Because remember, he likes to remind me, you're doing it for fun. And I'm like, but it would be nice to have, more money to travel more.
Yeah, no, that's a great point too. And it is so hard to crack that code. Obviously,
Yeah.
I'm nowhere
I mean, some
close. I've
people
got
have
no
cracked
idea.
it, but it's like,
I don't know. Some days I'm like, is this just luck? And also, I feel like there's some like psychological experiment going on at like Meta where they're just watching what people are doing and just like laughing, and none of it has any like rhyme or reason. And they're basically just like puppet stringing things and just like laughing at everyone, you know?
they definitely are, especially after you see that Netflix documentary on how everything it's crazy.
It really is.
So I really wanted to go back to spouse humor and marriage because that's the era I'm in right now where the
Uh-huh.
kids are self-sufficient, they drive themselves, they feed themselves, but our children follow me and I don't want them to see inappropriate videos. Well, it's not inappropriate, just what the words say,
For
like,
sure. Yeah, just like
and I'm like, I don't want my kids
adult
to see
humor.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that is so tricky. I think about that sometimes too. Like I don't go too far, but there are some things that I'd be like, that would be a little awkward if my kids watched this
And
someday.
or their friends also will follow me on there. I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And we went to a church on Sunday, and one of the women there, she tapped me on the shoulder, and she's like, "Hey, Gabby." I'm like, "Hey." She's like, "I want to adventure with you." And believe me, I don't tell any of my personal people, unless you're like close friends, about my socials. I don't tell people at work that I have one. So when she said it, I'm like, I'm like, "Oh, you found my page." And I'm like, "Crap, she's gonna think I'm a heathen."
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I did have like it was funny. I told someone at work about the podcast, like someone who I knew like the vibe was right. Okay. Like I knew he'd be on board. And then he like shared it in like a group setting. And I was like, oh, hold on, hold on. Like, I don't know. Can we take that back? Like, I don't know if everyone's ready for
No, no,
that
I don't wanna, yeah,
side of me. Like, I don't know 100%. We're all gonna have to get real cool real quick here.
right.
All right. So I do want to hear more about your travels, but first let's play a little game of live, visit, exile. So I'm going to give you 3 locations. One of them you're going to need to choose to live in. One you can visit, and the other you're going to exile, never to return again. Right?
I was like, "Okay, I think I need to write this down."
So live, visit, exile. Maryland, Florida, Virginia. So where are you going to pick? Are you going to stay in Maryland to live, or are you going to go elsewhere? And then one of them you can visit, but one of them you're going to exile, never to return again.
Live in Florida,
Oh,
exile Virginia, and visit Maryland.
okay. Very interesting. So you'd choose to move out of the state if you could. Yeah.
Well, that is the plan,
Oh, okay.
when my
Okay.
husband retires, but I can't
Oh,
I will miss the crabs, the Maryland crabs, that's why I'm gonna
oh.
come back.
Yeah, Maryland is very pretty. I feel like it's one of those underrated states and one that people don't hear a lot about and maybe don't really appreciate until they go there
Right.
because it really is beautiful. And is Florida the actual state that you think you'll move to once your husband retires? Oh my gosh, look at that. Okay.
He
Um,
wants to go whatever state doesn't tax retirement.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Good plan. Yeah. If we had to settle down today, like someone was like, today, right now, you got to get a house, it would be in Florida as well. So the next one, sun outdoors campgrounds. So, like, are you going to live in a sun outdoors or Jellystone or just privately owned resorts? So you can pick one that you are going to live at forever, one you can still visit, but the other one you can never go to again. So where would you choose out of Sun Outdoors, Jellystone, or just any privately owned?
Well, since we're like true glampers, I've mostly done sun outdoors and Jellystones. I don't think we've done many mom and pops,
Oh,
which I
okay.
want to because I know there's beautiful ones
Yeah.
out there. But it would probably be live in a sun.
Live in a sun and then visit Jellystone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
oh no, no, because I don't know. I feel like I would have more options doing the like privately owned.
Yeah.
I think I would do privately owned and
Okay.
exile. But yeah,
Exile Yogi Bear.
don't tell them that.
Yeah, yeah, we won't hurt their feelings. I do think, well, your kids are older now too, but
Yeah.
Jellystones surprised the shit out of me because those are the rowdiest campgrounds I've ever been to in my life.
It's because all these darn little kids and the parents are like, go play.
Oh my God, the parents are like, go do your thing. We are getting crunk. Like, it is nuts. Like, I am still recovering. Last year, we spent 4th of July and one in Delaware, actually. And I was like, could not even believe the party situation that we like rolled into. And I think we pulled in like on the Friday. So everyone was just like already lit. And I was just like, where are we? What universe have
And
we
their
just
pool is
got into?
really small. If it's that same one, Jellystone,
It
Delaware,
was
and I'm
very
like, you
small.
guys, it would be awesome if it was just a little bigger because that's where the party's at the pool.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and of course, like, the weather didn't cooperate as it as it does its weather thing, so then it was just yeah, I don't know. It was interesting, but Still a fun time, but it surprised me. I was like, wow. Okay. So you are weekend warriors and vacation RVers, right? Because y'all still have the home base and you have full-time jobs. So talk to us a little bit about how you make that work. Like, I'm very impressed that you can travel as much as you do with the full-time job.
So it's actually getting a little harder now because our children are getting older and they are into their sport.
Mm,
In public schools, they didn't want. I give them the option. I would love for them to homeschool, but they didn't want to. They wanted to go back after COVID. I'm like, okay.
mm.
You can't miss so many days, because of, and then you can't play the sport. And since ours are trying to either get scholarships, they're the ones that are like, yeah, we can't go anywhere, especially during the sports season. So from December to March, we can't go anywhere, even if we wanted to, because of wrestling is what is happening right now. What I do is actually the beginning of the year, I go through my Google Calendar and I'll put all the school dates that the school says either they have a 2 hour or no school. And then I would also add when the quarter ended. You're allowed to miss so many days in a quarter.
Mm.
So I'd be like, okay, the quarter ends on Wednesday. We could probably leave on a Tuesday since the quarter just began and they shouldn't have that much schoolwork. So that's what I used to do just to kind of level it out.
Well, that's so smart.
Yeah, and my calendar would be full of all those notes. So then when I would want to look for a camper, I'm like, okay, let's do, because they have a 2 hour early dismissal that Friday. Do they even have to go? Let's just book it for that Friday or leave Thursday night. How I would do, because it would be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
That makes sense.
So,
And I
mhm.
love how you are like, kids, I want to pull you out of school. This is like, right, most teenagers like dream. And then your kids are like, no, 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 we're staying at school.
So it's funny. I have people, I wouldn't consider them friends, but on Facebook, you just have acquaintances. And they're always proud of their kids, or, maybe, I don't know if you are, but it's like perfect attendance
Yeah.
or a presidential award for scholarship thing. And I'm like, they're in seventh grade. Like, what are they going to accomplish by the time the real life comes? Go on vacation, take them somewhere.
Yeah. Do the things.
But I
Yeah.
don't judge. So my kids know, you want to be out of school? That's fine with me. It's my husband's, on the other hand, is more like responsibilities. I'm like, they have so many years to be responsible. Right now, they can be out of school.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when they're an adult, they can do
Yeah,
responsible things.
it's
And
gonna get hard.
yeah, right. Oh my goodness. Okay. So that's really good advice, though. You don't really think about your RV tank system until something stops working right. And then everyone knows, and it's really all you can think about. That's why we use Camp Champ's Super Digest for routine maintenance. It uses stabilized live microbes, which means it continuously produces fresh enzymes inside your tank to keep waste breaking down properly, helps reduce buildup, keeps sensors cleaner and more accurate, and supports overall tank performance in both black and gray tanks. I won't share the video footage, but we were shocked to see how much was lurking in our gray tanks that Super Digest cleared out. Biodegradable, safe for seals, and incredibly easy to use. Use the code TAKETHETRIP for 25% off and give your tank the maintenance it actually needs to avoid those what the flush moments. And then, do the pets RV with you? Or the dogs?
They
Okay.
do. That's another thing. Like, we save money by not
Mhm.
having to board them,
Mhm.
because that's expensive. I told my husband we got into the wrong field of work, because pet boarding is where it's at.
It's so true. Even pet walking. Like, we had to get a rover the other day because we were at Disney. So the dog couldn't be there, yeah, the whole time. And I was like, looking at their rate, and I was like, damn, like they're making some good money just walking dogs. Like,
See,
I could get into that.
when we go to Florida, we'll have our own little paw margaritas and paws or something, where we
Oh,
bring you a margarita and walk your dog.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Love it. Uh-huh. That's
So
the idea right there. Okay, that's great. And I think RVing is probably such a great way for your husband to kind of be able to I almost said disassociate, and that's not the right word, but be able to
that's
like
me.
separate from his role in law enforcement, because I imagine it's just very hard to sometimes, in your neighborhood. I'm sure everyone is aware, of his role. So then he might have to feel like he's always like on. And I don't know if I'm just projecting, but very different, but slightly similar when I worked in a school and I was the school counselor, and then I lived in the community too. But I always felt like, even if I was in my neighborhood, like I'm like, oh, I can't like walk around, I can't have like, a margarita walk in the neighborhood or something. Like, I always felt like I had to like be on, but then it was really nice to be able to like go away for a weekend and be like, well, no, like I'm just a person here. Like, nobody's going to judge me if I'm like I don't know, yelling at my kid or something too, like, it's just, like, different, like, you wanna be somewhere where you don't feel like you are in this box where people are, like, just looking for you to mess up, kinda? I don't know if I
No, yeah.
explained that, so I
He
think
just
that's a
didn't ever turn it off.
Oh,
He's always hyper vigilant. I think it's just the role.
okay.
So it's sometimes annoying because it'd be like, walking somewhere is like, what are you looking for? It's like, just have a good time. So
Oh.
he does relax more. And that's why sometimes it's hard because he's like, I don't want anyone to come talk to you. Cause then I have to put my face on. And I'm like, but people want to come say hi. So he'll be friendly, but I know he'd rather just be left alone because he has to deal with people all the time.
That's fair, yeah.
So I try not to be like inviting people over, but it's surprising because I don't get that many people to come and be like, "Oh my God, Gabby," and they'll send me a message and be like, "Oh, I saw you. I wanted to come say hi," and I'm like, "You can come say hi, just don't stay." He loves RV travel, but I think he actually likes air travel more, which I was like, gasp in Spanish. I'm like, what do you mean? You're the reason we got a camper RV because, you loved it. He was like, yeah. But you should see the difference when he drives the RV compared to airline because he doesn't have to worry about
Oh.
anything.
Oh, that makes so much sense. It's like
So
an
he's
actual
even
break
more
for him.
chill when he's not pulling that thing because,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's stressful, but he won't show me how to drive the RV.
Would you wanna drive it?
Yeah,
You'd
why
be
not?
open
I'm like,
to it?
can't be that hard.
I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not the one. I'm not the right one. I, like, hyperventilate as, like, the passenger, so I don't think I should be
He's
driving
like,
it.
if I show you how to pull the camper, you're not gonna need me anymore. I'm like,
My
oh my
gosh.
gosh, you're so dramatic. I still need you.
Oh,
I
that's
don't
funny.
want to do all the other stuff, but I'll pull it. Because what happens if there's an emergency on the road and you're indisposed? He's like, well, just call, one of our friends. I'm like, that's not the point.
Yeah, I think about that too. Like, I probably should learn if there was an emergency once he got his head really good on the kingpin and he had to get staples. And then I know, yeah, it was a whole thing. But the next day we had a travel day planned and we kind of couldn't reschedule it. So the doctors said it was okay to drive, so he did. But I was still like, I don't know if this is really ideal. Like, it'd be good if I could learn how to do this, but really, I
I think
just
as
don't.
long as we can go straight and not have to turn, we'll be okay.
I know, that's the thing, I could go straight, but you throw a left turn in there? No,
It's
I'm
over.
done. It's yep, for sure. And what line of work are you in, Gabby?
I work in IT, I guess
Oh.
is what they call it. So mostly the documentation of IT and cyber.
Oh my gosh, that's so interesting. It's so fascinating to get to know you from, like, your page and being so fun, right? And then, like, hearing that because I just wouldn't have expected that because you seem like such like, extroverted, like, people person too, and I
Right.
imagine, like, the IT job probably isn't super people-y, right?
Not anymore. I think because I'm more in the background of I'm
Yeah.
more like your auditor. Like, did you do this? Show me. Where's the document that states you're supposed to do A, B, and C? It's that kind of stuff. But now I'm kind of like a manager slash leader, so I
Okay.
kind of just oversee people. But I get scared when people find me because I'm like, okay, you see work me, which is more like I'm
Mhm.
still me, but a little bit toned down. But then you'll see me on my videos and they can tell the different personalities because I am an extrovert, but I'm also an introvert. But they know I'm just messing around online. I'm a little extra on the
Yeah.
internet.
Yeah,
And
no,
I
that
always
makes
tell
sense.
my husband, like, these people think I'm like probably a partier and I follow the rules. I pay attention to campground regulations. Like, I'm like a square. But because I present myself like this party person, I'm like, oh no, ma'am. If you're going to be loud, I'm going to walk away from you because I
Oh.
am not that person.
Have you ever gotten in a situation where you did meet someone at a campground who knew you from your page, but then they kind of wanted to get really rowdy and you were like, "Well, actually, I'm not, like, we're not going there."
No,
No, okay,
no.
that's good. Okay,
But
good to
after a
know.
couple of margaritas, that is the problem because I probably end up, because if you have one rowdy and another rowdy, you cannot just go off of each other.
Yeah,
You just That's why my husband's like, don't invite people because I know how you get. I'm like,
that's so funny. Have you ever had a situation where you've made friends with or hung out with someone and thought, like, Oh my gosh, this one's for the books. This is a scenario that's happening that's definitely going in my memoir. Like anything really wild that's happened at a campground with a new friend?
I wish I had something, but I don't because not that many people stop by, and I don't go out of my way to be like, hey girl, what are you doing over there?" Cuz I'm like, I don't want to bug people. I'm very quiet. But then you see my husband, he's a serious guy. They probably don't want to come over anyway. Even though he's a chatterbox, I don't know why he pretends. I tell him like, "People think you're really a grumpy guy." He's like, "That's just my face." I'm like, "I know, you're start talking about fishing and cars and military stuff, he won't be quiet."
Well, that's funny. That's kind of how my husband is. Like he's not very like animated and
Right.
he's just very dry sense of humor. Like he likes to listen, but he's got that like I don't know what the version is, like RBF for man, but he's got that going on, right?
Yeah.
So people are probably like, I don't think he's enjoying this conversation, but he's just, different. So I think our
There
husbands
there has been times where I've been like, "Crap, did I blow their mind?" And they're like, "Geez, Gabby sure talks a lot and rambles." Because sometimes when I get excited, because my ADHD, I'll just start talking really fast and excited, and then I'm like, "Crap," and then, an hour later, I'm like, "Oh my god, are they gonna remember that? Are they gonna share that? Are they gonna say I said something so stupid?" Like, the things that you think about after, I'm like, "Crap, what did I say?" And I don't
for
want
sure.
anyone to ever feel, because sometimes I'll ask my RV friends, like, "Hey, who have you met that, you know, is fake?" um, in our world, and usually, we try not to gossip because we try not to, but I like to hear, because it's like we have our own little community at
Mhm.
some point. So when they tell me a name and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I see that," or "No," like, really? I don't want anyone to ever say, "Well, Gabby acts like she's a partier online, but in person she's like doesn't want to do anything." Because that would probably be it. But
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's actually really interesting that this is coming up because I had a similar conversation with another guest, and her page is often humor too. And she was saying how it's really hard to then meet people and you feel like you have to be on and you feel like people are expecting like a performance. And then
yes,
you're kind of like, well, I just kind of want to vibe and hang and like talk. So that makes so much sense that like, yeah, the stuff you're doing on your reels is like you, but at the same time, there's another side to you and you're not
right.
always like on that vibe. Okay, that's good to
So
know. And it's
yeah, when you meet people, you're like, "Oh, do you want to make a reel together?" Like, let's just hang out. We don't have to be on all the time.
yeah, yeah. Let's have some real talk. Let's skip the
Right.
small talk though and just go straight for the real talk. Okay, I love that. And good to know like the other side of Gabby. And if anyone's listening, now we know that Gabby needs to have some like unhinged visitor though. So
Yeah,
she
I
wants you to
do.
come say hey, come hang out with her, not for too long, right? Make sure you go home when it's quiet hours or whatever. But now
Yeah.
we've got to make sure that there's a story for her memoir of something really bizarre that goes down. I have a confession. If there was one thing that almost got us off the road, it was the homeschool situation. We felt overwhelmed and learning was feeling stressful for everyone. Then we switched to Me Academy and it honestly changed everything. The lessons are engaging. We love the flexibility. And having the full K-8 course catalog means our kids can work at the level that's right for them. Features like read aloud, captions, and transcripts help them stay independent and confident, which has brought so much peace back in our homeschool days and has them actually loving learning. You can try Me Academy for just $1.99 for the first 30 days, and then you can use the code TRIP20 to save 10 to 20% depending on the subscription type and see how it can bring that same balance to your homeschool journey too.
The question, would we sell at all if we could? That's my question that I feel like I get a
Oh,
lot,
yeah.
and I'm like, I don't think so. I feel like there's been a big shift from when we bought the RV in 2019 and then COVID hit, and you saw everyone on here doing,
Mhm.
sell it all. But at the same time, I'm seeing so many people in that same group now buy houses, and I'm like, you could do both. That's,
Yeah,
you know,
that's a good point, and now it's not a good time to buy, right? So I know
no,
that a lot of
it's
people
terrible.
were hoping that it maybe would be, but still definitely not the time you wanna buy, so I do wonder how those people are feeling, if they have any regrets, but I feel like the experiences you have, whenever you just prioritize whether it's a weekend trip over something, you're usually like, "No,
It's
I feel
just,
good about that." But
yeah.
yeah, that's a good point. Honeymoon
And then
should
our kids, maybe when they were little, because we're both veterans, if we would have done it right after, I think it would have worked. But now the teens are like, we don't want to live in no camper because they
Yeah.
want their space and they don't want
Yeah. That
any of that.
that's understandable. Do you think when you're empty nesters, you would consider full-timing on, like, when he's retired, or you're not sure?
So the plan is to sell and move first to South Carolina, Myrtle Beach for a little bit, and then see if we can buy something small, some land. We always want to have something
Uh-huh.
to go back to, even if it's just a pad and we build a shed or
Yeah.
something. Because my husband's like, I don't want to be doing this forever. He's like, and I want to have a home base. I'm like, I get it. Me too. So we would probably be like those snowbirds. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
And then, depending on when my kids go to school, there's a lot of people that are like, "Oh, we leave our kids behind." I don't want to. I want my babies. I wanna be by them. I'm obsessed. Now,
Aw.
of course, if they get married and they don't wanna hang out with us, that'll be different. But I could always go to Disney and I'll be happy.
Yeah. There you go.
But that's the
That's the
plan. We
plan.
do plan on selling and moving to South Carolina. I feel like we can do it and enjoy life how we are doing it right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, it would be nice to have more leave, but my job, like I said, we're pretty fortunate, and we have too many toys right now to even think about it, and we're okay with it.
Yeah. No, that makes
I get a
sense.
little frustrated sometimes when I see like to tell people like you don't have to sell it. You
Mhm.
can,
Mhm.
but if as long as you make time, you can do things with
Yeah.
your
No.
family and things.
I love that, and that's so valid that it's not for everyone and that you can make it work. You can have that balance and prioritize what your kids need to be happy and also, like, fulfill that sense of adventure. So thank you for sharing more about how your family makes that work.
Yeah.
It's definitely, yeah, definitely very inspiring, and it makes sense because it is, like, pros and cons, and there are days, I'm sure, even if a full-time RVer doesn't wanna admit it, but there's gotta be days where you wake up and you're like, "Damn, a house would be really great right now."
Like if
Like
it's if you don't got no more propane or something, right?
uh-huh, yes, things like that, yeah,
Or the AC
100%.
breaks.
Yeah, all the things. There's so many different ways that can just throw a wrench in how your day's going, like, yeah, all the things. So, there's just it's such a trade-off, and I don't know if
But I
there's
love travel, so
yeah, absolutely, and you're making it work, so you've got the best of both worlds.
I told my husband, I'm waiting for him to retire. Like, let's go. We got like 7 years. And people
Oh,
are
that's
always like,
nice.
what are you gonna retire? I'm like, no. I'm like, he has a pretty good retirement. I'm like, we're gonna sell everything, and that's why. But
Yeah.
then you start thinking about colleges, right? You're like, crap, who's gonna pay for this? Because my plan was they were gonna join the military. And now they're
Mm,
like, we don't some of them do and some of them don't. I'm like, well, you better get a job. I'm like,
yeah,
now I understand why some people wait to retire. It's because you're paying for your children's college. I'm like, okay. I was like,
yeah.
oh, I get it now. Okay.
Well, this is where the sports payoff is gonna come in, right? And I
Yes,
think there's
hopefully.
also, as someone who had to pay for their own college education, I will say there's a lot of value in that. It felt so meaningful knowing that I was shelling out the cash for that, and I think if my parents had bankrolled me, I don't know if it would have felt so meaningful, honestly. And
Yeah.
it's great if your if your parents can pay for your education, but just the other side of that, if that's not like a an option for everyone, like, I actually felt really proud that I was able to work through it, and I wasn't screwing around, right? I was not wasting my time.
It's
I
your
was like,
money.
Let me get 20 credits in this quarter, so I can get out of here." I don't know. So
And we're
there's
definitely also not pushing college, that's on them. I'm like, if you want to, like one of them might do trade, which is great. That's perfect.
yes, yes, that's the other thing too, that college does not have to be the only path, and honestly, right now, it's often not the best path. I mean, depending what you choose, but yeah, trades are real smart right now.
I think IT is also really good because I
Yeah.
don't have a
Oh, for
college
sure.
degree,
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it's
but I
good
have
to know for sure.
certifications.
Sometimes, yeah, and those can get you so much further than a college degree a lot of the times, especially when it's a college degree that isn't exactly like specialized. It's kind of just like a degree. It's not the same as it was like 30 years ago as far as the college degrees were and how everyone was like, you have to have one. And then it turned out
Yeah.
like you don't. Oh,
If I
man.
got one, it would be something for fun that I want. Like, I think
Hmm.
emotional intelligence. Have you ever looked into that? I think
Hmm.
that's fascinating.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. It was just like the love of learning. And that's what I ended up doing too. Like, I loved psychology. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna, this is what I'm gonna get my degree in because this is something I really enjoy. But then it's like I graduated and I was like, oh, what do I do with this piece of paper now? Who is like, do I have a job now? And it was like, no, there was no job. So it was a journey for sure. But okay, so I do want to circle back to you and your husband's relationship. You got married after being together for 5 months. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, walk us through how that went down. I just love a good love story.
I think it was crazy. I had just graduated from my school for the Air Force because I was a police too. And I went back home to California to visit family before I got stationed in Vegas. And my friend, one of my best friends at the time, she's like, well, let me take you out. I haven't seen you forever. And I'm like, sure. And we just went to a bar that apparently he says that's where Marines went to get chicks. I'm like, I didn't know. I'm like, I just saw him and I think we talked for the entire night. He texted me the next day. It just went from there. So we met in August, got engaged in December, and married in January.
Oh my gosh, I just love that. So, what did your family and friends think when you let them know that you were married?
Nothing because I think I've always been I was very independent.
Mm-hmm.
Like as soon as I turned 18, I left my house. I didn't have a very good childhood, so I don't feel like I had a comfort or security.
Mm-hmm.
So when I told my mom, she's like, "Oh, good for you." She didn't say nothing. And my friends, I had lost touch with most of them too because
Mm-hmm.
I separated myself from a lot of things. So that's why I joined the military to get away too.
That makes
So
sense.
he's been my home since then.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love that. That's so sweet. So, were you surprised when he proposed?
No, because I think I told him I was gonna marry him like a week after we met. I'm like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get married."
I love it. And how old were you?
I was 21 and he was 22.
And you were both still in the service then, in the
Yes.
military? So at that point though, and like you'll have to forgive me because I don't really know how all the things work, but you're not in like the same group, right? So are you then totally separate, like kind of doing your own thing?
So, yes, because we were different branches. So he was Marine Corps in San Diego. I was Air Force in Las Vegas. So every chance he got for those 5 months, he came to visit me. And he
Okay.
drove 4 hours each way, so 8
Oh,
hours for
oh
the
my
weekend just
gosh.
to come see me.
And then when you were married, how long did you stay in the military?
We got married, but then he deployed like the following month. So I didn't see
Oh,
him for 6 months after that. So that was exciting. And as soon as he got back, he got orders to move to Virginia. And I had put in my orders, like different branches don't like to work together. I swear. They're like, oh, we don't have anything for you over there. And I'm like, okay. And at the same time, I had gotten pregnant as soon like the day he got back, probably. We had complications
oh,
with at 10 weeks. So I knew I didn't want to be alone. So I knew that you can separate medical necessity because of pregnancy. So that's what I did. And then I was able to come here with him. We did end up, unfortunately, having premature birth. So the baby didn't make it. So I'm like, well, I'm thankful that I was with him here and not
oh my
alone in Las Vegas because
gosh.
I didn't have anybody.
I'm so that had to be so hard. Thank you for sharing that. I can't imagine going through that. I'm so glad that you were together as well. That is heartbreaking.
And another reason why I'm like, I want to always take the kids places because
Yes.
I never got to go anywhere.
Yeah, that's so understandable. And now you've built the life for your children that is like
Mhm.
healing your own inner child
And they're
and
probably not gonna go anywhere when they get older because they went everywhere. Like Disney, can you believe they don't even care to go? I'm like, "What?" People, you go like 2 times a year. You know how many children can't say that? They're like, it's okay." I'm like, "How dare you?" I'm like, "Oh, it's because you probably had a great childhood and you don't need to fake it and have magic. Because I bring the magic."
right. Yeah, no, it's so true. And we always have this conversation too with helping our kids to access that gratitude because they don't understand that like these experiences are not standard. They were complaining because we took them to the beach too often. And I was like, I didn't go to the Florida beach until I was in my 20s. Like, you don't understand like how bad I just wanted to be in Florida. Like, I wanted to know what that was like. Never went there, but they're just like, oh, at the beach too much. So I hear you there, and it is very hard. If you figure out the way to,
Yeah.
to get your kids to be grateful,
They
please let me
probably
know.
won't be grateful till about 23, 24, I think, or when
I
they
think
have
you're right.
kids.
Yeah, you're right. Someday it'll hit. Someday it'll hit, and their mind's just going to be blown, and they're going to be like,
Yeah.
I can't believe that that was my childhood. And that, yeah, my mom took me to Disney twice a year.
It's so hard not to be like, "Well, I'm gonna die one day, and you're gonna wish you went with me." Because 'Cause I'm like, that's like parent narcissism, or I don't know what the term is. Like, "Don't say that, Gabby. Don't say that."
Yeah. But
So
maybe
now
that's
that's
just
why
what
I
they need
don't
to hear.
push.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna miss me,
Oh, that
and you're
makes
gonna
sense.
wish you took me.
Right. All right. So thank you for sharing about your military journeys too. And thank you for your service. You're just such a badass in all the ways. I do want to ask one
Thank
thing about
you.
the military. I don't know what it's called in the military when someone does something where everyone has to like run laps at 2 a.m., right? That happens in the movies. Like, because there's like a class clown or something. Was that ever you? Or were you the serious Gabby side when you were enlisted?
They got to run because of me, but not because of that. It's because I was the slowest person there. And anytime I fell behind, I had to turn around and get back me to the front of the line. And I'm like, I can't do it. So I suck at running. And I made a lot of people run a lot more because of it.
Oh my God. That's like, yeah, that's like from the movies.
Yeah.
So that actually like happens. Oh
Yeah.
my
It
gosh.
was because of me.
Wow. That had to
But
be
no,
really,
I loved the military time. I think it made me grow and appreciate. And I was like, I did it.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm amazed. I mean, obviously, that's just incredible for so many reasons. So thank you for your service. I know I probably wouldn't have been a strong enough person to do that from multiple
You could
ways.
do it.
Okay, so before we play some Would You Rather, if you're not already following Adventures with Gabby, please go do that immediately. Her content is better than therapy, and I guarantee she'll crack you up. So, would you rather, Gabby, be at Disney? Okay. Also, if you're listening with kids, this one gets a little extra. So there's explicit rating on this portion of the episode.
Oh,
But
geez.
would you rather be at Disney and on all the rides instead of like normal screaming that you may do, all of the sounds that you make are sexual moans? Or would you rather be in line and fart every 2 minutes very loudly in like a 2 hour line for your favorite ride? Which are you going with?
The first one.
Okay, that would at least that would be like a good story. That would probably be really entertaining, and
Oh my gosh. It's how embarrassing, but
people's reactions would probably make that worth it too.
I'll probably get arrested.
Might,
Yeah.
yeah, there'd be a lot of confusion for that one, but just be like, this is just how I enjoy roller coasters. Okay, don't worry about it.
Don't worry what is going on.
Yeah, it's fine. I just love this ride. Okay. Now, would you rather scream out? You're still at Disney for this. Would you rather scream out like your most embarrassing secret that like no one knows while you're on a ride, or have every single character that you meet, like it's Minnie or it's Elsa or whatever, you're saying hey to them, they go up to you and they actually whisper your secrets that no one knows into your ear on your entire trip. Like they just know them. So they come up and they're like, hey, that one time in 6th grade when you did XYZ. So which one are you going with? All the characters know your secrets, or you are the one sharing all your secrets on rides?
I think the characters, because I think I've blocked so much of my childhood. I don't recall anything like below 15. So I want to know the stuff I did, if anything, because it's like I don't think I've ever done anything embarrassing because I've always been a cautious person, you know?
Okay, that's
I know
actually
people, it's
amazing.
surprising.
I don't know how that would feel I'm just trying to wrap my head around that one because the thought of like not having anything to be embarrassed about is just really new to my brain because I just have such a long list of things I can rattle off that are highly embarrassing. So, wow, I'm impressed by that.
You live a life that was just hard.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing can be embarrassing. It's like, yeah, that's why
Yeah.
I think I
It's
just
like
look
the
at life a little
perspective.
different. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's very,
It's like bring it. Remind me what I did again. I mean,
yeah.
the only thing I get embarrassed about now would be my husband and I, we don't uh fart in front of each other.
Oh,
We haven't
oh
ever.
my
Yeah.
God.
And even if I will toot, if I sneeze and something comes up, women don't do that, okay? It's just if it does happen, I get so embarrassed because he'll be like, "Oh, are we at that stage of our marriage now?" I'm like, "No,"
Oh
because
my gosh. Now that is wild. I'm just very impressed logistically in your ability to carry on with life without ever having to fart in front of each other. That's
and our
wild.
kids don't do it either. And
My
I think
gosh.
it's because I came from a Hispanic household, and I don't know how other households, but we weren't to do that. Like, that's your private stuff. You don't
Huh?
discuss it. So when we got married, it's never been one of those things. Like my friends tell me, "Oh, my husband has Dutch stuff in me." I'm like, I would die. I would literally die if he. ever farted in front of me. First, ew. And then the thing, our children don't do it either. The boys don't do it. My daughter does do it. No one, we're not, you do it in your own time. So when we went camping, and I don't know if I was laughing or what, and I could have, and the kids were just like,
I could have.
and I'm like, oh my gosh. So everyone, then they start busting out laughing because we don't do it. And I'm like, it was an accident.
Oh my gosh. I'm really just very, very impressed. Honestly, that one has impressed me
I made a reel
sincerely.
about it once, and people were
Cute.
just, it wasn't half. Well, more like 75% people are thinking, like, that's insane. How have you never? I'm like, sleep doesn't count, okay? Because I don't know I'm doing it. It doesn't
Yeah.
count. But to just let one rip, no, ma'am.
Yeah.
No.
No, I mean, I'm gonna say I've never like intentionally try. However, I will say it has occurred
I
more than
mean,
once.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely more than once. Okay, so were there any people that commented on that reel that had also never farted around their
Yes.
spouses? Wow. Okay, this is like a whole new world to me. Okay,
I
good to
mean,
know.
with a psychology degree, what do you think that means? Because people are like, it means you're not that comfortable with your person or something. I'm like, does
Something
it?
like
I don't
that.
know.
But like you said, it could just be how you were raised and just something that you feel like where you're comfortable, where your boundaries are. And that's
That
great
is,
that you have found someone that can respect your boundaries and is right there with it.
I wonder why he never did either. Huh.
But could there also be a shame piece? I would wonder about that because is there something that did happen that made, you feel like really, really super shamed about it? So then you're like,
Probably.
that can never happen again. So I don't
Oh,
know.
so there you go. The farting, it's
Okay.
embarrassing to
I
me.
love it. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's also good to know because I feel like well, like I don't fart around my friends. Like I don't know, make fart jokes or something, maybe occasionally, but I guess I didn't have it on my radar that there
Yeah.
could be people that would be rather uncomfortable about that. So now this is good for me. Good for me to know. Yeah. So when we meet and we have margaritas, I won't fart. I will promise not
Well,
to fart
I
near
mean,
you.
you can. I think it's just between like my husband and I. Your husband can fart all he wants to, just not mine.
Okay. I won't ask you about or maybe I will, because I do remember when I first started dating my husband, and it would be like I'd go to his house. Well, then the first time you have to go number 2, and you're over
No.
there. No, yeah, and that was horrible. I mean, obviously not in the same room, like the door was shut, but
Oh,
still,
okay. I was like,
like
people do it
no,
with the door open though,
no, like no.
or in the
I hope.
shower while you're showering.
Yeah, that's bad. I think it's a real talk podcast, so I just have to say, when you are in a one bathroom situation, there may have
Things
been an
happen.
emergency or two where this has occurred, but no one likes it. No one involved is happy that this has happened. And I know the one time I was like, you run out to the bathhouse, do not come in here. But it was like raining or something, and it was like far. And that definitely was not my favorite, but oh my gosh. Okay. Well, that is hysterical. And I love that this conversation has ended on this note. Gabby, thank you again so much for being here. I loved getting to know you better. And listeners, thank you so much for being here. It would just mean the world to me if you would leave a review if you're enjoying the Real Talk. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss hearing from more of these incredible travelers. Safe travels, y'all. Don't unbuckle just yet. You're going to want to stick around for a song I can guarantee you've never heard before. And thank you again to Camp Champ for sponsoring today's episode.
Pulling that fifth wheel up the highway, reservations at the fanciest spot in town. She's got salt on the rim, sun on the dash, laughing as the awning comes down. Oh yeah, he's double checking every cable, quiet eyes scanning every cloud. She's dancing in flip flops, he shakes his head, but she still gets him to smile out loud. Weekends with Gabby, hooked up, decked out, feeling free. From the gate guards wave to the late night stories, it's our kind of with Gabby, Gabby. They don't cross those lines they drew. Keep some space, keep some secrets too. But in the dark, in the soft porch light, she lets him see the storm she fights. Weekends with Gabby, Gabby. Hooked up, decked out, feeling free. From the gate guards wave to the late night stories. It's our kind of luxury. She's raising a glass to the skies, holding the world steady by her side. Two lanes, one life, rolling happy. Yeah, two lanes, one life, rolling happy. Weekends with Gabby, Gabby.